You may have seen me ride this thing for maybe one or two of my videos. Whenever I type in electric skateboard in YouTube, this board doesn't really come up. That's why I decided to throw this thing into the spotlight. The M1 is the signature mini board of Ownboard, a company based in Shenzhen, China. A lot of its following has grown thanks to Daniel Kwan and Rarni Sarmiento. It costs less than $500 and is 30 inches long. This model has a dual belt motor drive, which gives it a lot of torque and tight braking. Its advertised top speed is 42 km per hour or 26 miles per hour, depending on the wheels. With the Samsung 20R 4.0 AH battery, it gives it a range of about 10 to 12 kilometers. The M1 uses a basic ESC that shows you the battery meter and the speed modes you're on. First gear, 20. Second, 30. Third, top speed or 42 to 45. Now this is a generic remote, so it's not as specific as the newer models that are out now. X-Way and Wago, they use LCD displays, which gives you the full battery meter and speedometer. Now you might think that this is a bit strange, but for me, I don't really care that much when this thing can go fast. Most people would go for a longboard mainly because it's easier to... Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. Let me try that again. Most people would go for a longboard mainly because it's easier to stand on and cruise around. But have you ever wanted to feel fast on a skateboard? The M1 has a lot of stability and a great center of balance, so you can control the board better at high speeds. I wouldn't say this is exactly a beginner board because the acceleration on this thing can be pretty brutal. I pulled my back the very first time I went full speed on this thing. The M1 comes with black 83mm rubber wheels, which are okay and then give you a smooth ride, but they're not very good with handling bumps on the road. Good thing is, you can change the gears so that you can put whatever... Good thing is, you can change the gears so you can put whatever wheels you want on there. Because there's so many bumps on the road, I like to change the skateboard wheels often as possible. That's why I use orangutan kegels, which are a lot smoother and they go over bumps just a little more smoothly. Alright, so I'm outside of my neighborhood right now and I've got this board. And I'm gonna do a speed test out here and see how fast I can go on this thing. So I'm on the other side of the track because, or not track, road. So I'm on the other side of the road here because if I go full speed on that side, there's gonna be too many cars going that way. So I'm gonna go use the board and see how fast I can go downhill, which will give me a lot more speed. So full face protection and the gloves, and I think we'll be set. Alright, so according to my run, my top speed down that hill was 38 kilometers per hour. Now that's a lot slower than the advertised speed that I mentioned, but let's keep a couple factors. There's a couple factors preventing me from hitting top speed. One, there's a lot of draft and wind flowing in today. And two, there's a ton of hills that was preventing me from reaching my full acceleration. So, and another one, number three, are the wheel size, the kegels. They're not that fast, but they give a lot of stability. Next time I do a full speed test, I'm going to use different size wheels and see if that affects it at all. But hey, who cares? That was pretty fast, wasn't it? So why have an electric skateboard? Well, I live in Korea, and there are so many hills. There's tons of hills, but the M1 is able to climb them at a 30-degree incline. So you'll be going uphill at a much more comfortable and stylish manner. Riding a longboard in the big city like Seoul is challenging, because there are tons of people walking around and crowding up the streets. You have to stop constantly, go around multiple corners, and shift around. Thanks to the shorter length of the M1, I can stop on a dime, pick it up, and walk over to the next area that isn't crowded. You can also go around tight corners and pick it up and carry it around. However, it's kinda heavy, so you'll be lugging around 7.5 kilograms if you're on a date. Now let's talk a few negatives about this board. The biggest negative on this board is the amount of maintenance that you're going to have to do. You have to take off the motor covers and dust it off. It's like doing the dishes or getting the hair out of your drain. No one wants to do it, but it will cause your board less damage and keep it lasting longer. It's not really a big negative per se, but when you're first starting to ride, be careful of the torque. So sometimes you'll find your body flinging forward when you're accelerating really quickly. So if you're riding the M1 for the very first time, be careful when pushing on the remote. Another minor gripe, but I think it's a given when it comes to the remote, it's too basic for my taste. I would like it if there was a more accurate reading on the speed or the battery meter, because you only get about 4 bars of them in 25% intervals. So it's not a very exact way to calculate how much power you have left. Hopefully, Ownboard has upgraded their ESC remote, so when I buy the next round Ownboard coming out, I'm hoping to do another review on that. But as I showed you earlier in my videos, when you're going that fast, do you really need to look at the remote? I really like this board. It's fantastic, it's fast, it's tight, and the maintenance is not that bad once you get used to it and practice it a lot. And especially for a short commute in the city, it's perfect to carry around and stop around with. For less than $500, this is a much better deal than you would get with the boosted board. Hopefully the W2 Pro is going to come out real soon, and I want to get the first stop on that and try that board out.